Hello everybody, once again, I'm Robert and this is Corvette World Dallas. I've got a C4. Don't get these too often here at Corvette World these days, but this one here is a beauty. So let's break it down. This is a 1996 collector edition convertible LT4. So the collector's edition, very similar to its 1982 counterpart, was essentially a special edition they did at the end of the C4 generation run, which of course was 1996. So 1984 through 96, it being the last year they wanted to commemorate it. They had two vehicles that commemorated its last year. One, of course, being the collector's edition like this, and the other being the Grand Sport. So this particular model, like all the collector editions, came with the Sebring silver, is what they called this color, and they had a unique chrome cross flag badge that said collector's edition like you see here. In the case of the coupe and the convertible, they all came standard with the ZR1 style 5-spoke wheel. They were not in the ZR1 size, but they had the exact same design pattern like you see here. And of course, these were also shared with the Grand Sport, although that one was in the ZR1 size. And of course, it's comparable year Chevy Camaro Super Sports. The calipers are painted black. The 96 side code was carryover from 95, where they changed it, where you had these teeny little slot inlets, unlike earlier C4s where it stretched all the way through it in deeper grooves. And they had the collector's edition badge on the hood, on the side of the hood, like you see here. This particular car we have has a beautiful, fresh set of Continental Extreme Contact tires, and they're pretty much brand new. I mean, these tires, from what I was told, are less than a year old. Don't have a lot of miles on them, so essentially brand new tires. Now, normally we put our Corvette World plates on it, but I left it off this time because I kind of a little tidbit about C4s is a lot of them came with these plates that say USA 1. That was a big thing in the 90s for Chevrolet. A lot of them saying USA 1 in like accessory plates, but yeah, Chevrolet did that, and I thought that was cool, so I wanted to show everybody that. The C4 Corvettes from 1992 through 96 came standard with the square tips. Those were definitely associated with, of course, the LT1 engine and the LT4 and LT5 as well. It was a very common C4, and they had more of a hum tone come out of the stock exhaust. For the fuel, not on the sides. Here they were in the center, so you would open this up, and fortunately, they still have it. My C4 myself did not have this. This comes out to help protect your paint. And then, of course, you put it in there. Usually, they would have a stamp with a locking key. And you would just take it and put it in this holder and fill up your gas. But again, you had to be careful. So the trick was, when you came to fill it up, you had to kind of hold the nozzle like this and then come down with it so it didn't leak and spill all over your paint. And then, of course, when you're done, gently let it go down. All right. People say, well, where's the trunk? Well, there really wasn't one, but they did have some storage space. So let me explain how this works. So you can see this was before they patented the seal that would become standard on C5s through C7s. You still had snap clips, which go all the way back to the beginning of Corvette. So you had a button that was right here. You open up your convertible storage area. As you can see here, see this? This would release your convertible notches when you want to take it off. You pull this and it snap releases on both sides. But in the meantime, as you can see, we got our convertible top, and like other generations, it has two snapping clips, which are done right here. Again, very similar to other generations. So we'll go ahead, let's put this out of the way for a second. So you pull this up and fold this up, and I wanted to show you. So you do have some stowage area here. Of course, you have our two Bose speakers here, aka Delco Bose Gold Series. And we do have a storage bin compartment right here. As you can see, I got our owner's books that have been stuffed in here. And underneath here, yes, you have your jack for your spare tire. As you can see, it's still in there. And there's your instructions done on this laminated style paper. So 1996 was the last year of Corvette to come from the factory with a spare tire. So again, when to put the convertible top back down, you get this up and it folds down and in slowly like this. Make sure you're gentle with it. And then come from the middle and close. Let's show you that spare tire really quick. You come up underneath here, you can see it is right here, and there's a spare tire right there, and it's still there after all these years. Probably the original. Okay, so coming to the interior. So the collector edition had 3 interior color options. The most common, of course, being black. then the second being what we have here, which is the gray, and the third being the red. So the collector's editions are essentially fully loaded. We have, of course, in 94, they debuted the 2-point steering wheel. That carries over. We have our ASR. I know traction control, yes, that was an option. Obviously, our headlights are flip up. I'll show you that in a little bit. We have our CD and cassette player. Yes, you had both options. That was your premium radio of the time. And we do have our F45 Select ride. Now, this is not a magnetic ride, but it is a 3-point hydraulic. It is an update from the previous FX3 ride control in the earlier C4s. And you have full power seats. But unlike earlier C4s where you had this control switch on both sides, this one here you can select the passenger and the driver's side and control it from one button. And these here are your adjustable lumbar side bolsters. It has 3 levels of lumbar and a side inflation. So here, if I put it on the driver's side, I hit this button, they move. And they don't inflate, they actually move, which is a feature a lot of people wish they would bring back instead of inflators. And if you go to the inflator, like I'm gonna pick the middle one here, it inflates. If you push the other way, it'll deflate. Pretty cool. Inside your center console here, you have, of course, the rear release is another option for that hatch, just like the other button I have on the Surface. You see it's carpeted. These here, believe it or not, were for cassette storage, but of course you can store other things in here, coin storage, and most of the time people would put the owner's books in here, and I'll probably put it back in there instead of that storage area back there. And of course, let's get to the favorite part for everybody. This is an LT4 car, which of course all 96 LT4s were 6-speed manuals. So the 6-speed manual was I can't say it, it's very German. But we just call it for short, we just say ZF transmission. This would replace the Doug Nash 4-speed manual of the 80s. Debuted in 89 and would carry on through. And of course, it has a bit of a longer throw by today's standards, but it's a very solid, very reliable shift. And frankly, I find it to be a lot of fun. It's a very fun shifting car. Check this out. So this is the LT4. Now, you may say it looks very, very similar to the LT1. It does. The main giveaway is the red throttle body, like you see here. And all the LT4s, whether they was a Grand Sport or not, came standard with the Grand Sport throttle body plate. A lot of people go to companies like Mallet, Billet Aluminum, and they would put LT4 or put Collector's Edition, other things. But when it came from factory, they had this Grand Sport throttle body plate. Of course, you got the red outlines on the fuel rail covers and the black plastic valve covers here. You can see you screw on. Here's your ASR controls, and of course your alternator and air conditioning pump. Your computer CPU is over here, and underneath is your battery. Now, on a previous video I did with Brink of Speed, I highlighted that it was difficult to get this out. It's actually not. It's just a couple bolts here and here, snaps out, and you can easily remove the battery. Now, do you see the headlights, the way they're stowed? When we close the hood, I'll show you how they flip up. But yes, if you can practically eat off this motor. It's super clean. It's all stock. And the LT4 ups the horsepower from the LT1 from 300 to 330 pound-feet, or 330 horsepower, excuse me. When closing the hood, push this in, gently slide it so it's in the slot. You come down about a foot from the center release. If it doesn't close, the way you have to do it, right here is your connecting point, palm, so you hear the click. Obviously, keep a microfiber towel handy. Wipe that up if that happens. Oh, yeah. And it does have fog lights too. As you can see, they're on. You can turn them on or off. Very cool. So, again, people say collector's edition. Well, how many? Of course, we're Corvette people, so we always know our type. So, bottom line is, of the LT4 collector's edition setups, there were exactly 157 with the light gray interior of all the production. I have the full production numbers. There were 1,381 total collector's edition convertibles. 469 of them had the LT4, but again, only 157 have this light gray interior. That would be the second lowest. The lowest would be the red interior. But either way, this is a low production option right here. It only has 15,200 miles, and we got it priced at $24,995. Good condition, low mileage C4s are getting harder and harder and harder to get. They really are falling fully into classic status. So if you are interested in this beautiful, one of only 157 car, please see our info up in the corner, down in the description below. Tell me what you think. Yep, it locked because I have the key fob on it. Yes, this thing has a key fob too. Can't forget that. So tell me what you think. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.